I'm Melisa Idris. Welcome to Consider This. This is the show where we want you to consider and then reconsider what you know of the news of the day. As we mark Merdeka, the day that Malaya won independence from British colonial rule, it's worth asking, how did that independence translate for the first peoples of this land, the Orang Asli? And did Merdeka bring equality and recognition, or has their struggle for identity continued in new ways throughout the years? Well, joining me on the show to discuss this further, I have Eris Joshan anak lelaki Chew Ho Beng, who is the 2023 AHAM-Tunku Scholar for Yayasan Tunku Abdul Rahman, and Shereen Ajani, who is the founder of Persatuan Mahasiswa Orang Asli Malaysia. She's currently chambering at the law firm Liao & Co. Thank you so much, both of you, for coming on the show today. I really appreciate you taking time to talk to me. I want to get to know both of you a bit better. So I'm going to begin with you, Eris, if I may.
Sure,
Let's start with your story. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey to where you got here today.
All right, thank you, ma'am. My name is Eris Joshan, anak lelaki Chew Ho Beng. I'm originally from Kampung Orang Asli, Kuala Sentabido, Perak, and I'm from Semai tribe. So I'm currently just graduated from University Pertahanan Nasional Malaysia in Bachelor Degree of Computer Science.
Congratulations.
So I'm holding a position as a Public Relations Officer in Persatuan Mahasiswa Orang Asli.
Okay, all right. So you are involved in the organisation that Shereen has founded. So Shereen, tell me a little bit about yourself and also maybe the mission of Persatuan Mahasiswa Orang Asli. For those of us who may not be as familiar, maybe you can tell us a little bit about it.
So thank you, Mel, for that question. So basically, the reason why me and my friend at the time, we founded Persatuan Mahasiswa Orang Asli Malaysia, because we found that there's no unity among the Orang Asli undergraduates. And we feel like it's very important for us because we are very small numbers. There are very minorities of us in each varsities in whole Malaysia and even overseas. So we found that it is very important that we establish an NGO whereby we can have a platform for all the undergraduates of Orang Asli origin to be together, to work together, and to establish goals and mission together. So that's the reason why we founded Persatuan Mahasiswa Orang Asli Malaysia.
Okay. Why is it important that you said, because you said no unity among the Orang Asli graduates, why is it important for you to speak with one voice, to have this collective? Because
as you see, the Orang Asli communities they're very diverse. When the non-Orang Asli heard about Orang Asli, in their mind they were thinking like Orang Asli is only one tribe, but actually it's not. Orang Asli legally there is 18 tribes, and this 18 tribe comprises of 3 categories, which is the Senoi, the Proto-Malay, and also the Negrito. So from each of these subcategories, they have further categories, which is like 6 in each categories, and there's like 18 of it now. And we also have one more tribe that haven't been recognized yet, which is the Mok. But now it become already 19 tribes. And they are very diverse in the sense that every state, they have these Orang Aslis. For example, if I go to Johor, there's Orang Asli Jakuns in Johor, Seletar in Johor, and also a little bit of Temuan. But when you go to Negeri Sembilan, Melaka, and Selangor, there is Temuan people and Mahmeri. And when you go to Perak, there's a Semai, Temia, and so on. So we are very, very, divided in that sense of the not only the tribe, but the language as well, and the tradition. So for me, there's no unity as per se, because each tribe, they have their own identity, and they have their own goals, or they have their own issues about what they face within their area. For example, like some tribes maybe have like problems or access to go to access instead of facilities or to gain education. But some areas, like for my tribe in Temuan, we are the original Orang Asli from Bukit Nanas and KL, and we've been placed many times and ended at Bukit Lanjan, but still it's a very concrete jungle, and we live in the urban. So I have the access to part of them that doesn't have the access to. So
so each tribe, each community has different challenges, different identity, different cultures, as you said. Can I ask you, when you meet new people, how do you identify yourself? How do you personally describe your identity to people? Do you find that you have to educate your fellow Malaysians about your heritage, Eris?
Yeah, sure, Mel. Because when I've been through lot of experience when dealing with other races, with different peoples with different backgrounds. So my first secondary educations, I got it from SMK Rombe Bumai, which is we allocate all the Orang Asli around Malaysia, which is under the Pusat Intelek Pelajar Orang Asli. So it's under Jabatan Kemajuan Orang Asli. So all the tribes around Malaysia, we gathered there to study from Form 1 until Form 3. So I learned about the other tribes. So we proudly to introduce ourselves as Orang Asli. Sometimes we have our own tribe and our own identity, but Orang Asli is one of our identity that we have to make it, everyone is Orang Asli. So after my Form 4, I went to Royal Military College, which is the only Orang Asli in that military college.
You were the only one in
your
cohort? Wow.
So it's very challenging when people have a very wrong mindset. They think that all the Orang Asli staying under the, on the top of the trees. We still hunting 24 hours, but it's not how they thought. It's actually Orang Asli also live how the normal people, how the people live in the urban, which is we go find a job and to feed our family. But with the limitations from our place is facilities and also the infrastructures. For example, my village in Kampung Orang Asli, Kuala Center, Bido Perak. Until today, we don't have any internet connections, whereby it's the most challenging time during MCO, where I have to wake up morning and rode my motorcycle to top of the hill just to get internet connections and to join online classes. Wow. So that's why I say the lifestyle might be a bit slightly different in terms of the challenges, but the way we live, the way how we feed our family and we see is still the same as Malaysians.
Shereen, do you feel like you have to explain to people or educate people about who you are, Orang Asli, your tribe, your language? Do you feel like you need to carry that burden and educate people when we should actually know about our fellow countrymen, right?
Yeah, all the time I have to educate people, because like the misconception that Eris was mentioning earlier, where people think about Orang Asli, all they think about Orang Asli have a curly hair, dark skin, living in jungle, while I'm Orang Asli in KL. I'm originally from KL, and I have to explain to them why am I white, why I'm living in the city. But over the time, I feel like there's no need for me to explain. There must be a sense of urgency among the Malaysians themselves to know that there is an existence of Orang Asli Malaysia and to actually celebrate our diversity together. So I feel like the ministers should be responsible in making this happen, such as Ministry of Education, to actually input the Orang Asli syllabus in our curricula in school. Because I can't blame the whole society of Malaysia for their lack of understanding or empathy towards Orang Asli, because there's no such a lesson were given to them such an early age. So I think at the end of the day, it's up to the government to actually support the Orang Asli mission in order to establish not only our culture, our tradition, our languages, but also our history during the inception of Malaysia, pre-Merdeka.
And that's a great point, because I did want to ask you both if you felt Orang Asli voices and perspectives were visible. You know, we're talking about our independence from British colonial rule. This is the period where we're talking about the country coming together, the nationhood of Malaysia. Do you think that Orang Asli's story in our nation's story is visible, Shereen?
For me, based on my own personal experience, is not very visible. Because you see, during the formation of Malaya, there's a lot of Orang Asli also sacrificed in order to make sure that Malaysia gain independence. And also during the communist, insurgent of communists last time, whereby there's also Orang Asli from a different tribe. They are together, and then they established the Sonai Perak by the previous British administration to actually fight the communist guerrilla in the forest. But there's not much of mentioning about their sacrifice and how a few of them actually died during the fight against the communists, and also even the Japanese. So I feel like there's a lot of things that we need to educate the masses, especially the Malaysian, to know about the history of Orang Asli, because last time all of us, we are also fight together. Not only the Malays, the Indian, the Chinese, even we have Singh's people who are working as a police last time. So in order for the Malaysian to understand that, like what I mentioned earlier, it's all about having a syllabus, and the right ministry have to educate more about Orang Asli participation for all Malaysians to achieve the independence, like what we feel now.
Yes, I agree with Shereen's mentions. Even though, fun fact, my grandpa, late Bah Ali Kinchong, is one of the Snoipra, and he is an officer for the Snoipra. And during my child time, it's becomes like our story, bad story times. So where he talked about how he fight communists, how he survived in the jungle, how he utilized all the Orang Asli knowledges and also skills, survival skill in the forest. But sadly, when we see all these heroes, I can say, cannot be not be recognized, and not all people know. Even though if you go to the internet or maybe social media, some people say the existence of Orang Asli just like didn't give impact to the nations. We didn't even contribute to the nation buildings. But when we look back into the history from the pre-independence until today, actually Orang Asli involved and also be part of the systems. But yeah, as you mentioned just now, it's very invisible because we not the majority, and we are very lesser, even though our population is lesser than the disabled people's population. So,
because you are so few and have been so marginalized for so many years, and you mentioned you were the only Orang Asli in the RMC at the time when you were there, can I ask you, did you both feel pressure to assimilate, to become as part of the majority? I've heard many anecdotal stories from my Orang Asli friends who say that they are pressured to adopt the national language when they are asked who they are. They say they're Malay because it takes too long to explain their heritage, their Orang Asli heritage, and the tribes and all that. So how do you both feel that pressure and that tension between the identity that the different identities that you hold, Eris?
Yeah, sure. During my time in RMC, it's very difficult because I think to portray myself as Orang Asli, some people they say I'm not look like Orang Asli. Some people said I'm look Malay, but I'm proud to mention and to declare to everyone that I'm purely Orang Asli and talking Bahasa Semai in my house, which is fully. So when we go to the urban, so we have to urbanize ourselves. So there were all these Orang Asli being tested to become resilient with our identity, with our own language and heritage. So when people ask about, do you guys live on the tree? Do you guys hunting? I just take it and interpret it as in a good way, which is they don't have the exposure. I don't want to blame on them because they don't even be exposed into this our community. So I just like explain to them, I'm similar to you. I have two eyes, one nose, one mouth, and I eat rice. But difference, we have the limitation in the facilities and also our opportunities. So when I'm excelled in the college, I joined a debate. I am good in my studies. Some of the other races, I mean, the different tribes from that college coming back to me during my passing out parade. They say, oh, this is my first time meet Orang Asli, and you prove to me that Orang Asli is the same. Actually, you are also human Malaysians that have same potentials as the other race, but maybe because we don't have the opportunity and we are invisible in this country. Next, I would like to mention about how equal opportunity I had when this opportunity exposed to all peoples. In University Pertahanan Nasional Malaysia, so I joined elections for the Student Representative Councils, and I made history, which is myself appoint and won the elections and appointed as the president for the SRC.
Oh wow!
In the in the IPT. So it's first in history that Orang Asli have to become a leader for all students, for thousands students in the university.
Was it National Defence University?
Yeah.
Was it Pertahanan University? Okay.
Yeah, so I can see that not of the society are wrong, but because they never exposed to the existence of us, because there is no platform that channeling or maybe portray that Orang Asli also exists, and we also have the same potentials to contribute in the national's building.
Well, I'm so proud for you of what you've done. Shereen, did you feel like you had to assimilate when you were in school or in university, that you had to become part of the majority?
Okay, let me tell you about my story. When I was doing my primary school meal, I was actually attended school for only Orang Asli students at SK Bukit Lanjan. So majority is Orang Asli. In front of my tables, my cousin, my nephew, my uncle, my aunties who are same age like me. So I eventually had suffered a culture shock when while I attended secondary school, whereby all my classmates are Chinese, Malay, Indians, and Sabah and Sarawak. That was my first time having exposure about other races compared to the one that I have in my primary school. So the bullying was severe, I think, in the sense of like oral bullying lah. But I always believe in what my mom told me, like just be yourself, focus on your study, excellence in your study, and you can actually make friends once you are clever. People will come to you. So that's what I did. I keep on upgrading my. I keep on like putting my hard work in studying and being the top 10 in the school, like I mean in my class, during my class listing. And after that, I didn't pursue my tertiary education because I thought working like last time was more important compared to continuing my tertiary education. But this way, I learned while working with a construction company. My boss are Chinese. I have Malay colleagues and Indian colleagues, and we don't really care about race. Because everybody was doing the same work, you know, same work. We go to site together, supervise the site together. And after that, when I started to want to continue my pursuing my tertiary education, well, I will go to UiTM Dengkil, and after that, I go to UiTM Dengkil for a law foundation, and after that, I continue degree in University Malaya for the law. I also find that the more educated people there are, the less racism there are. This is what I've found compared to what.
So for you, racism is born out of ignorance, when they don't know any better, and that the feelings of racism come from there.
Yes.
You mentioned the Semai language a bit earlier. Can you tell us a little bit about? Because you said you grew up speaking Semai, and then when you went to school, or you went to university, and later as you grew up, not a lot of people know Semai language. Do you see, what do you see as the future of Semai language? Are people learning it? Are Orang Asli youths, your friends, from the village, are they still holding on to the language?
Yes, in my village, we fully use Semai language. And as you know, we have 19 tribes of Orang Asli. Each tribe, we have our own mother tongue, so we use it in our daily conversations. So as a Bahasa Semai, it's Semai is the largest tribes amongst all the tribes in Malaysia. So now they want to uplift the Bahasa Semai as a medium to communicate between the Orang Asli. So as you can see now in the Sijil Pelajaran Malaysia, we do have Bahasa Semai for SPM, and some schools even offer to study Bahasa Semai. And yeah, proudly to say that Bahasa Semai also been researched by the university in China, because the word itself, as you can see, we have the linguistic, we have the language, we have a lot of I can say dialect, but we don't have any fonts or any written. So they want to make a research. But happy to see now everyone still inherits the culture and heritage of this language, and we proudly to use it in our daily conversations.
Okay. Do you find that youth, your cohort, your peers, and you are tapped into the network of young Orang Asli graduates, right? Are they proud of their culture and heritage? Do they want to learn from the elders in the village to make sure that the traditions and the stories, the oral history, all of that doesn't die out just because there's maybe migration to the city centres? Shereen?
You might be surprised when I tell you this. I think due to the emergence of the TikTok and also Instagram and Facebook, if you put there hashtag Orang Asli, hashtag Proud Orang Asli, there's a lot of youngsters, even those below at the age of 10, whereby they're making videos and they speak in their own languages.
Oh, wow.
Those people, even in my kampung, we are living in the concrete jungle, in a very urban setting. But if you look at the TikTok, they keep on speaking, and they make it as their daily lingo. Like, you know, although they have like, how to say, a mixed marriages between the Temuan tribe and other tribe, right? But they're still going to speak and teach the languages to the new generation. So I found it's very positive feedback that we get from the development of technologies. And at the same time, I found that the other factors that supporting this is also the participation from government agencies such as JAKWA and also school from the education yang macam buat program. For example, like recently, just yesterday, I met with my my husband's niece who coming to KL because she's participating in the robotic challenges. This between the Orang Asli children among all states. So they're gathering the Orang Asli children from whole states, Johor, Selangor, Perak, and so on, and also Sabah and Sarawak to compete in these robotic challenges. Wow. Yeah, so that's where I can see like participation from the youngsters, and they're very proud to say, oh, I'm Jakun, I'm from Johor. Hey, I'm Semelai, I'm from Pahang. They have that kind of approach among themselves. So I found that it's very enlightening and a good thing to see in a new generation who are not afraid to embrace their identity. Compared to last time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So there's been a change over the years that you've noticed. So can I ask, in the time that we have left, what an inclusive country would look to you, to the both of you, and to the young Orang Asli who are the future of this country? When you think about the ways people outside the Orang Asli community have engaged with you, and how you would like them to engage with you, what does that cohesion look like from your perspective? Can I ask you, Eris?
Yeah, sure, ma'am. For me, because I involved in the volunteerisms and also outreach to my own community, especially recently we made a community project as a scholars, as a member of PMOA. So we run it in Temia tribe, which is not from my tribe, but because I think they need, I need to learn about them, and also we have to bring this all informations, all these I think like exposure from the outside to their village, which is it's Kampung Sungai Termin Gerik Perak. So it's only accessible by boat. Okay. So I brought all my volunteers, which is from Mahasiswa Orang Asli, all of this, and from different tribes. So fun fact that all of us also learn a lot from this tribe. Okay. We learn about the semangat kemasyarakatan. So I see one thing about this community. When a lot of NGOs or maybe organizations, maybe government itself, when they do any initiative or maybe any policy, we have to include the Orang Asli, make it inclusive, because it's sad to see when one of the initiative when abolished of 3G has affected Orang Asli, because most of Orang Asli get the benefit from the 3G, because the 4Gs cannot be reached to Orang Asli village because we are at the rural area. Right. So because of the 3G abolished last time, so my village don't have any internet connection, so that's why I have to wake up morning and go to top of the hills to join online classes. So secondly, we have to see what actually they need and not actually we think good for them. And then that's why when it comes to this village, the first series of Empowering 360, we call it Living Hopes, which is the hopes that live in us to help them, and at the same time the hopes that live in themselves to help their community. So we do the engagement, we did eat together, we do cook food together. When we spend a lot of time and we see that Temia tribes, which is a bit left behind compared to other tribes, also have the desire to bring out their children to pursue study. But unfortunately, they don't know where to start. We don't know what the platform that government give the opportunity, or maybe that is a platform that they can utilize. Right. But because of that, I think where the PMOA plays a big role,
That's where you guys come in, right?
That's why we always sacrifice our time with the family, sacrifice our time to do our hobby, like for example, going play balls or something, or socialize with our friends. But we go to this village that 6 hours to 8 hours to reach them, but with all the exposure they brought in, it gives us a very good lesson that we have to actually grateful with all the facilities and also opportunity that given to us.
Well, you're giving back in the different ways that you know how. Shereen, what about you? What does an inclusive country look like to you, and how would you like the people from outside the Orang Asli community to be mindful of when we think about creating a cohesive country?
For me, there's only one word for it. I mean, like, just treating everybody as equal. Regardless, you are Chinese, you are Indian, you are Malay, Iban, Kadazan, Orang Asli, all of us are equal. Because when we cut our hand, the blood is going to be red. It's not going to be blue or black, right? So, in that sense also, I just hope that in the terms, right, inclusion, Malaysia, meaning like all of us, we start to embrace our diversity, our differentness, our many ways of dialects or languages, and be respectful to some certain, thing that kind of be taboo for some certain society. And at the same time, I found that through PMOA, we're able, Persatuan Mahasiswa Orang Asli Malaysia, we're able to deliver, although within our capacity as a student, to encourage more the awareness about Orang Aslis and also our struggles. Because if people think about Orang Aslis, people will thinking like, oh, Orang Asli only have issues with customary and land right issues. Always got encroachment, illegal encroachment towards their land. But there's so many issues that the Orang Asli face that are same like how the other non-Orang Asli are facing. For example, poverty or lack of access to education, or also some other issues, or maybe that's what I try to we try to show to them. But at the same time, through NGO like PMOA, we try to open up the Orang Asli communities that apart from our tribe, don't be so complacent. Don't think that the Orang Asli is the one that only need the support, but there's also non-Orang Asli that need that kind of support. So that's how we always like collaborate with different NGOs, talking about climate change issues or forestry issues, because climate change and forestry is not only impacted Orang Asli, it's impacted the whole Malaysian, it impacted the whole world, right? So to be a part of that kind of journey and other issues that concern the other societies as well. So that's where our role is.
Yeah. Well, both of you, thank you so much for taking time to come on the show today and to talk to me. It's been such a joy to talk to the both of you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Melisa.
That's all the time we have for you on this episode of Consider This. I'm Melisa Idris, signing off for the evening. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.